Hey, it's Joy. I've got big feelings about little things, and I want to talk about it. Oh yeah, I'm mad about it. And the fact that everyone else is not up in arms about it is a big part of the problem. Oh, I bawled my eyes out, like I always do. It was the sweetest thing. Oh, it was the cutest thing. It was the funniest thing. Thanks for being here. Let's go. Hi, thanks so much for being here. I'm glad to see you. Well, I'm glad to be here with you. I hope you're seeing me. What you are seeing today, I look like a ghost. I feel like I look like I should not wear white. This is not my coloring. But I will tell you this, those people, you know how some people are just naturally good at certain things? Well, everybody's naturally good at something, right? I'm naturally good at certain things. What I am not good at is picking colors and identifying colors and knowing, like, having a design eye or having like a stylistic eye. Because I don't know if you've ever seen these TikToks. There will be a color specialist, a color match specialist, and she'll sit somebody in front of a mirror and she'll be like, okay, let's look at these. Look how these colors make you look like you're jaundiced and you look like you haven't slept in 4 days. And she keeps turning, it's like a pad of all these different colors. And she'll be like, look how you just look horrendous. You look like you've never had any nutrition in your entire life. You've never had a good night's sleep. You're sick. You probably need to be admitted to the hospital. And then the she'll change the set to a different set of colors. Like, instead of the winter colors, she's put you now in the fall colors. Look how now you look happy and healthy. You look like you've never had any type of toxins, and you look like you had a refreshing night's sleep, and you've only used medical grade face care for your entire life. And I'm like, I don't really see much of a difference. Honestly, it looks kind of the same to me. I don't have that discerning eye. So, I just threw on a white shirt. I do know, yeah, I don't look great in white. I need a tan. Those days are kind of behind me. The being outside enough to get a tan, the not trying to put 70 SPF on all the time, which if you told my younger self how obsessed with sunscreen I would become in my 30s, 40s, likely 50s, I would never believe it. And I was a pale kid. And, during that time, we just didn't, it was kind of coming up that we were kind of into sunscreen. But, I mean, one summer camp, I think I got probably second degree burns on my shoulders because I would just burn and then go out the next day and burn again. And I was probably like scabbed over on my shoulders. And here I am out at the lake again. I mean, goodness knows, thank God we haven't found any skin cancer yet, but it's probably coming. It just wasn't our thing. I mean, we would lay outside in the backyard, not at a pool. We did not have a pool. But we get on a lawn chair and put baby oil on us to try to bring more rays our way. Some people would get up on the roof. I wasn't that brave. I didn't really have a way to get up there. I wasn't that adventuresome. Some people would elevate themselves to try to go closer to the sun. Some people on TV had these like little reflectors, I guess, to put it more on their face. They were silver. I saw them on TV a lot. I never knew where you get one of those. But thank God I didn't do that. My skin would be even worse. But we didn't have that kind of protection back then. And now, I mean, I don't think my legs have seen the sun in probably 15 years. I mean, it's not going to happen. So I say all that to say, yeah, sorry I'm in a white shirt and looking like a ghost here today. But if I do come back from the other side, I believe in my heart I'll have positive things for you. I kind of wish I could see ghosts or hear them or, you know, learn a little something from them. I worked at this really old radio station back when I was in my 20s, and there was a rumor that there was a ghost around there. And, I kind of always wanted to see it. And it was a very old building, way out. I mean, this it easily could have been on a Dateline special at some point. It was out off the beaten path. I remember when I first saw the address didn't have a number. It just said Old Roswell Road or whatever. And I was like, I asked them, what's the address? What do you mean? Well, this is the address. What's the number? And they were like, oh, it's not, it's kind of an old road and there's nothing else out here but this. Thank God I didn't tell anyone that. They would have been like, you can't go out there. You're not going to come back from this. But I did, but it was a really old, really like crazy part of town. And I never worked at night, so that part was nice. But I did work on weekends sometimes, so I'd be there by myself. And I was walking from the back to the front, and I passed by an office, and there were it was like commonly a door would have a little skinny window in it. So that mostly the door's closed and you mostly have privacy, but you can just glance in, or you can glance and see if someone's at the door, or you can glance in and see if someone's in a meeting or something. And the door was open, but that little window had a reflection in it. And I walked by, and in the reflection, there was a guy, like a middle-aged or older man. I mean, I say maybe middle-aged because at that time I described him as an old man, but I was in my 20s, so he could have been 55, which is definitely not old to me now. But he was older than me. He was in jeans and a plaid shirt, long-sleeved plaid button-up shirt, just sitting in the chair. And I saw him in the reflection. And when I turned, there was no one there. And when I turned back, there was no one in the reflection. And I always wondered, was that the ghost everybody talks about? Or was that my imagination? Was that I'm here out on Old Roswell Road where it doesn't even have can 911 even come find me if they want to? Do they know how to get to me if I need them, if I call them? Will they be like, what? There's nothing out there out on Old Roswell Road, but I'm here. Is that just me worrying about that seeing this guy in the reflection? Who knows? Who's to say? But I will tell that story as if 100% I saw a ghost. I think it goes a little bit better that way. That's probably how I should have told it this time. What are you going to do? Okay, so what was all that about? We'll just change topics. I really want to tell you about this. And I wonder if the timing isn't somewhat divine. Like, I kind of wonder, does somebody need to hear about this today or whatever day you're listening to this? So I'm going to listen to that and I'm going to tell you about this. You know that I have a lot of big feelings about certain things. I have a lot of big opinions about things. And sometimes I have big opinions about that because I've either seen it in action or I have seen evidence to support it. Sometimes it's just my gut telling me something and I super believe in it. And I'll never, ever know whether I was right or wrong or what. I'm just having to trust my gut on it. And then sometimes, every once in a while, my gut will tell me something and I will get some confirmation of it later. And that's what happened to me when I read a certain book and listened to a certain podcast. If you're not a book reader, I'll give you the podcast to listen to. if you'd like it. But what I want to tell you about is talking to people that may or may not be able to hear you because of a medical condition that they are in. Okay. So, my history with this is, of course, I'm a nurse. I was a nurse on a brain unit for about 2 years. So, a lot of my patients were in comas. A lot of my patients were had a brain tumor or had just gotten out of surgery for having a brain tumor or were having seizures or had just had a stroke. So there were a lot of different reasons that somebody would be asleep, medicated, in a coma, unable to hear, or I mean, I had a lot of patients that were dying, and the family would ask me all the time, "Can they hear me?" And the truth, the very truth is, we don't know, but my gut says to talk to them. My gut says they can hear you. I have heard that hearing is one of the last things to go. And at the end of the day, what does it matter if they can't hear you? Right? What if they can? And if they can't, okay, well, you don't lose anything from that. Who cares that you're talking to someone that can't hear you? Maybe that's even good for you, especially if it is your family, if it's a loved one, or if it's someone, I mean, goodness, what if it's someone you need to make peace with? And at least you're doing that part, whether they hear it or not, or whether they can fully comprehend it or not. So I always talk to my patients. I talk to my patients now, even when they're under anesthesia. And some people make fun of that. That's fine. That doesn't bother me really one bit. But they're, and I've been under anesthesia, and I couldn't, I don't think I could hear. I don't remember anything from it. But when I read this book, it really confirmed that I should continue to talk to them, or you should talk to the person that you need to talk to, or if there's someone on their deathbed, go talk to them. So this book that I read, it's actually up here. It's called My Stroke of Insight. This lady, Dr. Jill Bolte Taylor. Jill, I'm going to call her Jill. Her job was to teach brain anatomy, like somewhere like Harvard or something. Okay. So like one of the smartest people in the world teaching the smartest people in the world about one of the most complicated things that we even know about. And one day she had a stroke. And because she knows brain anatomy and knows she is a scientist through and through, she knew what was happening to her at the time. Okay. And where her stroke was in her brain affected her ability to understand and to relay communication. So she details literally what was happening to her, what she was thinking, how she was trying to figure out what numbers meant, how a phone works, knowing what she's trying to do, but understanding that she can't figure it out right now. And these numbers are jumbled. And when she's trying to say, "Hey, I need help, I'm having a stroke," it's coming out completely mumbled. And so she, in detail, tells what she's thinking, what's happening, what's going on with her. And it is fascinating. When I tell you, it is fascinating, because that is our dream, is to know what's happening so that we can understand it better and we can treat it better and we can be more sensitive to people that are going through it. I will never forget when I was a kid, there was an ER episode where Cynthia Nixon, she is the redhead from Sex and the City. She was a guest on ER one night, and she was brought in the ambulance, and they said, Hi, what's your name? And she said, oh, my name's, Shelly. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay, what's going on? How old are you? I'm 42. Uh, are you in pain anywhere? No, no, I'm just confused. Where am I? Um, and they were having this whole conversation that the entire time the camera was always on the medical person. So you're just hearing her respond back. And but kind of at the endish of this conversation, they turn the camera so that she is on camera. And you see that all that communication was just in her head. She's not able to speak to them. She's not answering their questions. Or she thinks she is. Her brain is trying to answer the question, but it can't process through her mouth. And that was unbelievable. So wouldn't it be nice to really know what someone's thinking in their head? But you can't. So this story told later is basically that, telling what she was thinking, what she was seeing, what she was kind of feeling, what was making sense to her at that time. And it is utterly fascinating. It's a beautifully told story. But what stuck with me and what I want to stick with you and what I want you to hear from this, because as I said, I know I'm not doing a good job of explaining this, but somebody needs to hear this right now. She said that she could not understand what people were saying and she could not speak back to them. But she said when they came to the bedside, a different part of her brain understood their energy coming at her. She said she knew when they were chaotic. She knew when they did not care to be there. She knew when they cared about her and had her best interest at heart. She said she could feel it from the time they were at the door. And she knew who was there that was on her team and rooting for her and cared about her and saw her as a human, and the people that were there selfishly or because they were required to be there or because blah, blah, blah. Or maybe they did care, but they were in a bad spot in their own lives and needed to go for the day or were having a bad shift or whatever. So that's important to say. When you love someone, someone's suffering, someone's having a hard time, someone's hurt, dying, in a coma, whatever, to bring your loving, healing, empathetic, caring energy. And so when you come, maybe they can hear you, maybe they can't, maybe they can't understand you, maybe they can't, but they know that you're there and they know that you care and they know you're bringing encouraging, loving energy to them. And for yourself, I've seen it time and time again. If this is your last chance to say something, to make peace, to apologize, or to thank someone for being there, for what they've done, for loving you, for taking care of you, for whatever, say it. Say it. Go say that. And if you can't get there and someone is there that you know and you can call. Say it over the phone, FaceTime it, send an audio message. Say it. You may as well. And put that good energy over them. And especially if this is your last chance, then you don't have to worry and live with that knowing that you didn't take your last chance. I know that's kind of heavy, but somebody needs to hear that and somebody needs to know that. And I really want you to not get wrapped up in what people say or does this matter? Is this working? What are they experiencing? They're experiencing your love. And you're experiencing a little bit of, I hate the word closure, but a little bit of healing closure as well. And I just now realized that I started this by talking about ghosts, which that word kind of has an interesting connotation, but I didn't realize it would all loop back around. So say what needs to be said. Do not feel self-conscious about that in any way. And our brains understand a lot more than just language. Thanks for listening to that. I love you. And I'm not at the doorway with you, so I'm going to use my words. I love you. I hope you have a great week. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for listening to Little Things, Big Feelings with Joy Delaney. I'm James, the producer, editor, director, and executive producer. Follow Joy on socials at Joy Delaney Cox on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
Honestly, forget TikTok. I don't even know how to use it anyway.
You don't know how to use it anyway.
James?
Follow Joy on socials at Joy Delaney Cox on Instagram and Facebook. See you next week.